The Steel Rain DLC is going live tomorrow, July 7, and there's a few more changes I would like to share with you today. It's news time. Hello everyone, welcome back to another Fallout 76 video. The last PTS news for a while at least, since the servers are closing very soon. Now I have discovered a few new things in these past days, and I think you all would like to know about them too, such as the reworked power armor display cases, a new issue with them as well. Then we have the power armor drops, it's now part of the general pool, with some exceptions. And yeah, there's also the Fallout First rewards for Season 5 and the fact that daily ops can indeed reward you with legendary cores. But there's a but there, as usual, there's always a but. I will also go over some Steel Rain mission bugs without any lore spoilers, I promise. But as to be expected, this is a PTS video still, so expect spoilers nonetheless in general. Alright then, let's get started with the details. I have been waiting all day to finally finish this news, and that's because I predicted Bethesda would either release their last hotfix or some sort of announcement regarding the public test server, which they did like an hour ago. Anyhow, their last PTS patch was released on June 29, over 1 week ago, but something went wrong because the next day, July 30, they decided to do a reroll to the previous patch. Ever since, we haven't heard anything from them. Regarding updates at least, they have been dead silent, and I'm not sure that's exactly a good thing. At least we have a new announcement about when is it closing now. Well, there won't be any further patches since Bethesda just announced the PTS is closing at 1 PM CT. It was a very short notice, but it does follow the logic used in previous tests. They always shut down the servers 1 day before the update goes live. I guess by the time this video goes live, the PTS will be closed already, so I really hope you could test everything you wanted and met all the requirements to unlock the Steel Rain PTS pendant. The Hellcat power armor is one of the new gear rewards arriving with the Steel Rain DLC, but what has made a lot of people confused is the way it looked like in the public test servers for the most part of it. That's because Bethesda added a T51 placeholder skin or model. It doesn't mean the Hellcat will look like the T51 though. Not even close. It will have its own skin, which looks like this. It was announced a while ago in the E3 2021 Steel Rain trailer, but last week Bethesda updated the model in game 2, well, at least in the preview mode. For me, it still looks like a T51, but in the preview mode, it looks like the real Hellcat. Very different from anything we got so far. Anyway, I hope this clarifies why the Hellcat power armor has been showing up as a T51 instead in the public test servers. As obvious, it should hit the official servers with the respective skin, so hold on a few more hours and you should be able to see it as it was always intended. Okay, later this past week, Bethesda updated the Season 5 scoreboard, Escape from the 42nd Century, and they finally revealed the upcoming Fallout First rewards. Until then, the scoreboard was missing almost all the Fallout First rewards, but as you can see, it's all set and ready to go for launching tomorrow. As per usual, they added lots of lunch boxes and some carry weight boosters too. Nothing special there. However, there are a few exclusive items that should really make you excited if you are a Fallout First member. First of all, we have this red bird in a cage. The very first birdie we are getting, well, if you exclude the chickens to farm fertilizer, of course. Fun fact, this bird looks a lot like CD Projekt Red's logo. It's not clear if this is some sort of practical joke or just pure coincidence. I don't believe in that, by the way. But you guys did notice this in my Twitter post, and I think it looks awfully similar too. I guess we will find out one day. Yeah, one day. Moving forward, Fallout First members can also unlock the Brotherhood of Steel building set, so they can finally build a proper camp without resorting to prefabs, like the Scout Tower or the bunker. It looks really great, and right on topic for the DLC, I must say. Then we have the Guild of Antiques Foundation, which looks more like a Fasnacht carpet, but hey, it's pretty and unusual, so it's always great to have added to your foundation collection, I think. Lastly, Bethesda added this variation of the Nuka-Cola poster following the mine topic with a dolphin head. It makes sense if you consider Season 5's theme. Well, that's about it, so let's move on to the next point. Power armor can be turned into legendary with the Steel Rain DLC, and as an indirect result, you can now loot legendary power armor from the usual farming sources. Yep, legendary enemies and bosses can now drop legendary power armor pieces, but the drop pool is limited. I was actually not aware of this until a legendary enemy dropped one during my questing. I decided to ask around, look further into it, and I learned more thanks to the data miners. For instance, there is a plan check bug according to them, and that's why learned power armor cannot drop from legendary enemies, at least for the time being. You can only get legendaries for the standard Raider and T45 because you don't need a plan to craft those, so they will drop as legendary from all sorts of enemies. Moreover, from events and daily quests with the mystery pick reward, as well as the purveyor, it is indeed possible to roll all sorts of legendary power armor, as long as you have the respective plans learned, except for Strangler Heart, which makes sense. I mean, this set costs vault currency to craft, so it would defy the way it works if you could get it as well from the other methods. Anyway, the general and armor legendary pools just got a lot more diluted, that's for sure. Something else that you might want to know is that daily operations can also drop legendary cores. So far, Bethesda has only announced that this new crafting ingredient can be farmed from public events, which includes a very complex formula and differs from event to event. However, daily operations are also part of the equation. They can drop legendary cores from 1 to 3 per operation, but you must always complete it in Elder mode. If you finish in Initiate or Paladin modes, your chances to get cores are 0. However, the rewards pool is not working very well, as reported by some players, who claim that after doing one operation in Elder and receiving legendary cores, they will not receive them anymore in further Elder mode runs. This might be a random bug or a persistent one, it's not yet clear, so don't totally disregard daily ops for core farming just yet, because they are probably going to be your most consistent way to farm them if the rewards work as intended. After all, you can do daily ops as many times as you want and whenever you want. Next, we have some huge changes I did not cover yet, so let's go over it. Bethesda enabled the power armor display cases once again a few weeks ago with a reworked version. Now the stations work as display cases. You no longer need to build a frame and then use hundreds of pounds of your camp or shelter budget to place the power armor pieces as it used to work. Thanks goodness, that's part of the past. This reworked version works in a much simple way. You just add your power armor frame to be displayed, and that's it. Make sure to equip some power armor pieces first to the frame though, or it will display a naked frame, and I don't think you want that. Now, every power armor set you display will take no more, no less than 10 pounds each, which is what every frame weighs. Pretty simple, huh? So far so good, but there's a new issue with these display stations. The lights are not working properly, at least it's a visual bug. But seriously, when you power up the stations, some of them will never have light. It's magic. There are also reports about how the lights can turn on or off by themselves if you interact with nearby stations. Double the magic, I guess? I don't know. Also, if you re-enter your shelter, there is a chance that some stations won't have lights on anymore. It's like a random light show every time you visit your shelters. Well, as I said, at least it's nothing major or impactful for the gameplay, so that's great. Well, now do let me inform you about what you may or may not encounter during your Steel Rain adventure. I'm talking about the new missions, of course. During this past month, Bethesda has fixed well over 50 bugs just related to these new missions. Here's a great sample from one of their patch notes. I didn't disclose the points to avoid further mission spoilers as I promised in the intro, but they have been on top of it. However, there are still some bugs left, as recently reported by players, and I did experience some of them in these past days, so I wanted to share it with you as well. In my experience, the mission Satisfied Conscience is the main problem. It's in here where I found most of the bugs with different characters. For example, enemies can spawn inside walls or even the terminals. I know this bug is a widespread thing in the game, but in this case, it can really prevent the mission progress until you kill the stuck enemy, and that can take a while. Another persistent bug I encountered was about Valdez, where she can turn hostile to other friendly NPCs, like it happened here. The entire raider squad was just taking her down over and over. Poor Valdez, I felt sorry for her. I couldn't do anything, they were all friendly to me. At least you can keep going with the mission if this sort of bug happens, so that's a plus. But be aware that she can turn hostile to you too. In another scene, Valdez attacked yet another friendly NPC and myself too. I had a good laugh watching them fight because the smart doctor here got tired of the zero efficient punching and ran away to pick up a weapon from a nearby body, and then he downed Valdez in a few hits. Well, such bugs are at least not impactful, not so much. I mean, this time she could damage me or even kill me if I stayed there too long in front of her. But in general, they are not game disrupting. They're just, there, they're funny, hilarious, call it what you want. Anyway, in most cases, your adventure should run smoothly, but don't be surprised if you come across a few bugs here and there. Well, at the time I'm making this video, there is still no announcement or fixed schedule for when the Steel Rain update will start tomorrow, but from past experiences, we know that Bethesda tends to release big patches and DLCs early in their workday, so it should start around morning time in Austin, Texas, where the main team for 76 works. It should also take some hours to finish if nothing goes wrong, as per usual. Moreover, there is no information about when the new Steel Rain PTS penance will go live for those who met the 3 requirements. Again, from past experience, Bethesda usually took 1 week to unlock them, so it shouldn't be very different this time either. Anyway, let's hope this time there won't be any major issues with the update. Usually there is always something that goes wrong and delays the update completion, so keep your fingers crossed. That's everything I have for now. Today's random bug is this Frankenstain 50 call. This bug is obviously not fixed yet with update 28, Steel Rain. I saw a few players going around holding such dismantled weapons, just like it happens in the live servers, so nope, definitely not fixed. Moving forward, I'm working on an essentials guide with the major changes for you guys. It will go live tomorrow. There's also a video about bugs they fixed and another with persistent issues they haven't fixed or solved yet. I have a list to work on right now. There's also a farming guide for legendary cores and so much more. So stay tuned. As usual, thanks for watching. Feel free to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't yet. I am Marta Branco. A huge shout out to all my supporters. You guys make it possible for me to go in depth with 76 topics. It means a lot to me. Alright then, I will see you all very soon, tomorrow. Are you ready for the new content? I surely am. Well then, take care. Adios. Bye bye.